Hey loves, I am popping on today to talk about something that is really near and dear to my heart and really where I am feeling my passion, my purpose of showing up for others. And that is giving more of a wealth of financial literacy to people as it relates as it relates to our nervous system regulation, as it relates to our life force, as it relates to our pleasure. So I don't know how many of you, I can speak from myself, have tried all the affirmations of wealth. For many years, I had written down affirmations. I'm worthy for money. I easily accept money into my life with grace. Money flows like a river into my life. And I never really believed what I was saying. But I figured it was one of those, you fake it till you make it kind of thing, right? So you keep saying it until you actually start to feel it. And through my own personal experience and also being witness to others' healings and what they've shared, it doesn't always happen. Some people it might, some people it doesn't. So, um, where I really want to, being called to take my practice, my being of service here in the world, is not only helping people remember who they are, and start to reclaim that power and rise into the best, highest version of themselves, is to also give this education of what have we been taught about money, what have we been and possibly not taught about how to invest our money, how to keep our money and not always having to give it out to the government, taxes. I mean, if you think about how many times your money gets actually taxed, it's pretty crazy. And the more you understand about that, I don't know, for me, it brought up a lot of anger. And when it brought up anger, it it made me aware of, like, wow, where is this anger coming from? And what's this charge coming from? Where's this uh, where's this deep wound? And it was like almost just like this aha moment of the reason why people aren't manifesting wealth into their life is not just a belief system, but it is a belief system, but the belief isn't something like that we might be conscious of. It's unconscious. It's an unconscious behavior that needs that deep inner work to come to the surface. And through my work with embodiment and some somatic work, we don't always have to know exactly what that trauma was, that actually that charge is. What we really need is to allow our bodies to feel it. So today I wanting to talk about how does clearing feminine and mother wounds lead to more wealth? So clearing feminine and mother wounds can lead to more wealth by addressing the emotional and the psychological barriers that may be preventing you from achieving this success. Just like I said before, it's kind of like a belief system, but there's also a lot more. There's like, I believe like a belief system is kind of like the top of a glacier, but there's so much more at the bottom of that. So feminine and mother wounds, they refer to the negative experiences and conditionings that we have related to our relationship with the feminine archetype, and which can include the aspects of nurturing, creativity, and intuition. So when individuals experience feminine mother wounds, they may internalize these negative beliefs and emotions about their worthiness and abilities, which can limit your potential for success. And these wounds can manifest in several various different ways, such as a lack of self-confidence, challenges in decision making. When we lack self-confidence, we second guess the decisions that we are making. We tend to look for other people to give us the advice. And also difficulty setting boundaries. So this could be kind of a people-pleasing mentality that you need to change yourself and push down what you really want to do because you want to please others. You want people to like you. You want people to spend time with you. You want people to talk nicely about you. And this also can lead to the victim mentality of, oh, I do so much for everyone, and and I don't get anything back. How many times have you experienced that, either with yourself or with your mother, perhaps, or a mother-in-law, or a matriarch of the family, right? So by clearing these wounds, you can work through the emotional and the psychological barriers that are limiting your ability to achieve wealth, to keep wealth, know what to do with wealth. So this can involve developing a healthy relationship with the feminine archetype, such as learning, to trust your intuition, to move into your creativity, to start embracing your worthiness and your value, to get a more secure sense of self. I'm talking, self with the capital S. So in addition to clearing feminine and mother wounds, it can also help you address your limiting beliefs or behaviors that are holding you back from achieving financial success. So if you're the type of person that money comes in and then money just goes out, right? Perhaps you're in that mentality, that manifestation mentality, that in order to be wealthy, I need to pretend and spend like I'm wealthy. Well, part of my financial literacy coaching is that you'll understand that is not what rich people do. So when by clearing the feminine and mother wounds again, you can start perhaps getting different behaviors about setting healthy boundaries with money, using discernment. It's very important to have a list of things that you actually need, and then you have your wants list. So when your needs list is met, then you can go to your wants list, and using discernment even there, like if this is truly what I want, you wait, and then you look back at it, and just really making sure that this is something that is just not going to bring you temporary happiness. It's something that's really going to enliven your soul. Also, when you start to clear the feminine mother wounds, you're going to start to improve your communication skills, right? You're going to develop a stronger sense of self. And because you have a stronger sense of self, you will not do things that will cause you suffering, meaning you're not going to buy a bunch of stuff you don't need to give you a big credit card balance that's going to cause you suffering, anxiety, lack of sleep, stress. How am I going to pay for all this, right? You'll be able to, and the communication skills as well. How many times you get called upon to buy a certain thing or to purchase this, or if you're going to purchase a big item, how many times have you felt, oh, I'm just going to I'm just going to do what they say, because I don't want to be a problem. But no, like it's your wealth, it's your money. It is totally in your right to ask questions and to get clarification and to making sure, especially like if you're buying a big thing like a car or something, like do your research and go in empowered. When we can communicate, it's from the sense of empowerment that we are able to communicate what we desire, what we need, what we want. So in a nutshell, right? So overall, clearing these feminine and mother wounds can lead to a greater emotional and psychological well-being. It can lead to increased financial success. So it's by addressing these barriers that you have that are limiting your potential. You're limiting your potential to be a more empowered individual and your ability to create wealth. So what are some ways that you can go, ways to start clearing the feminine mother wounds? So, like I said before, I am a firm believer that the regulation of our nervous system is a major key to financial success. So you think about the root chakra, and right above that is the sacral chakra, the kundalini energy, the pleasure, the flow, the creativity, the birthing, right? So it's getting in tune with these chakras, and the solar plexus as well. That's the empowerment. That's the self-worth coming out, and then the heart, the love, the self-love, the coming into your highest self, and loving from that place of acceptance and compassion. And then, yeah, moving back up, the communication in the throat, being able to ask for what you want, using the discernment. So there's many ways to go and address these barriers, that you are having to wealth as related to mother and feminine archetype wounds, which are the lack of nourishment, nurturing, the lack of intuition, the lack of support. So definitely working with a coach, a healer can help and identify these negative beliefs and emotions as related to any imbalance within your chakra system, within your life force energy, within that that nervous system regulation, and also practicing self-care, right? So getting into your meditations of just grounding and centering, grounding into the root chakra, feeling supported, start feeling nurtured, nurturing yourself first, right? And so you can promote more self-compassion for yourself, self-love. And these are the key components into healing and the feminine and mother wounds. A lot can be happen with through exploring your creative expression. Like I love, my favorite form of expression is to dance, and to sing. I used to write poetry, right? Some people like to paint. How does this inner feminine energy want to be expressed? How can she be nurtured? How can this aspect of yourself be nurtured in a loving, motherly way? It really comes down to us relearning how to reparent ourselves. With all the work I do with my clients, emphasis, and this is another truth. This is another key into coming into your wholeness, is finding everything that you need within yourself. And then not to say we have to, segregate ourselves, because I mean, community and connection with others is a huge part of regulating your nervous system. However, when you connect and relate with others from a deregulated state, it causes more trauma to yourself. So you need to take that time to do that work, to find that joy, that happiness, that nurturing, that compassion and comfort within yourself, so you can show up as a more integrated human being, and you're better off to society and those around you. And we talked about, addressing unlimited beliefs. So by engaging in practices that promote your self-awareness, that promote self-care, that promote self-expression, you develop a deeper sense of self-worth and empowerment. And this ultimately leads to a greater emotional well-being and financial success. Again, a more integrated and whole being you will become. It's that simple, but it's also a journey to get there. So hopefully this was helpful and get you thinking a little bit. I'll be sharing more on this channel about more of the goddess, more of the chakra systems, and bringing in more financial literacy, so you can step out of that being financial illiterate, and also sprinkling in, the sex education, because you want to also be literate in that way as well. Sending you much love.